Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Scene Snobs podcast. It is Tuesday night, and we are back. Thank you for joining us. We love you so much. I hope you know that. We really do. You guys are all amazing. Hang out with us in the comments. Talk along with us. But we are coming back with another mixtape episode. I'm going to make these a little more of a thing. Like I would really like to cover some more things. And I know everybody loves the mixtape episodes. I love doing the mixtapes episodes. Tonight we have a great guest. Trevor Stottlemyre from Ambassador Radio and Media is here. You heard him on the last mixtape episode. And of course, I have producer Paul here. How can I not? He is the Chewie to my Han. Well, all right. So if I'm Han, okay, maybe he's Wicket because he's so adorable. That's all I'm going to say. So, but guys, thank you again so much. I want to thank our sponsors for tonight. Pure Hemp Botanicals. They have a special offer for you down below. Go check them out. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But yes, go check out the link down below. But after the show, you got to watch and listen, all right? Guys, please, if you are out there, make sure you are rating and reviewing us as you listen along. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and hit that little bell so you know when other great shows come out. We truly appreciate it. But I want to get these guys in here. I want to talk mixtapes because I am taking you on a journey tonight on the Inner Mick. Let's get into it. All right, producer Paul and Trevor. Thank you guys.
Mick. Hello, Paul.
James is here in the comments. Thanks for joining in. Captain Mick America. Is that out? Can I share that? James did an awesome stop motion animation Deadpool Lego movie, and it has Captain America in it, and I was very honored to be asked to play the voice of Captain America.
Awesome.
So
That's really cool.
That is out. I will make sure I'm gutting on it. I will make sure that I put it in the link so everybody can find it. And after the show, I'll do that for the descriptions. You got to check this out. It's so much fun. He did such a great job. So thank you so much, James, for letting me be a part of it. I really, truly appreciate it. I was so excited. And I heard my voice. I was like, it's pretty rad. I feel really good about that. But guys, thank you so much for coming on to the show. Now, Trevor, before we get started, I would love for you to tell everybody about Ambassador Radio and Media and what you're doing over there.
Well, you can find us at ambassadorradio.org. From there, you can go to all of our social media and YouTube. The main concept behind Ambassador Radio is like basically 1990s college radio format, available terrestrially, but also online, looking at the B-side of musical history. So, if you're into really crazy, eccentric music, I think you would enjoy it. And yet again, that's ambassadorradio.org. And the main goal is, to educate people about music. But I love doing the show in an internet copyright friendly way that honestly, every time I make the show, it is as educational for me as my listeners. So that's what I do when I
Very awesome. And now you've been on the show plenty of times. We've had talks. You have been doing you just got 15 weeks in. We're going on our last episode, 16, our Godzilla retrospective. You joined me for that whole journey.
Which was amazing. And yet again, I have to thank you, everybody, Scene Snobs, for inviting me on that amazing journey.
Oh, we were happy to have you, man. That was so much fun. I had such a great time with that. And I loved it. I loved having you there, doing it and being a part of it. So just thanks, man, for doing that. And you guys should check that out because we had such a good time. It really was. So enough cheap self-promotion. No. Well, not, of course, Trevor. Always promote Trevor, Ambassador Radio Media. Cheap
Somebody does. I didn't know anybody promoted me at all.
I will always promote you, buddy.
Thank you.
Of course, man. So yes, definitely go check them out. They are linked down below. So I love for you to go check them out, follow, give them all the love because Trevor's doing some awesome stuff and keeping it indie to points where I didn't know music existed until I met Trevor, and I'm like loving it now.
And to do it completely not for profit.
I know, yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. And just for
or utter stupidity, it's either way. So.
That's very fair. Well, guys, we are here. We're doing another mixtape episode, but I thought it would be fun, and the guys know this. We've been putting our list together songs or theme songs or whatever you want, but it has to come from a television show. All right, so you can be you could have a whole mixtape of theme songs. You can mix in songs from, but I want to know what show. That's the thing. So, like, guys, if you were commenting along with us tonight while we do this live, make sure that you let us know what are some of your favorite songs and from what shows and why. We'd love to hear it and talk about it a little bit. But yeah, and if you guys are listening to this later, do the same. I love to hear those things. But come on,
I'm so in advance. It's okay. Some of my mixtape are distinctly television based, but they're not songs. But they're like sounds that are like automatics. Yeah.
You know what? I didn't think of that, but there's no parameters anyway. Okay, it's from TV. You're good to go. I want to hear them. Thank you again, James. Appreciate you having me on. And anytime, if you ever need help, please let me know. And Chris, what's going on, bud? Thanks for joining in tonight. All right. I'm going to, I have kind of a story for mine. So I think I'm going to take the last spot again. So who would like to go first? I'm down for whatever.
I'm going to want to hear Paul's.
Oh, God. Okay.
Paul, you're kicking it off, baby. I love it. I love it.
Yay. No, it'll be good.
You got this. I have faith.
All right. So let's start with the oldest show first. So I began my list from Happy Days, and it's going to begin with the Happy Days theme song for Happy Days. From the Happy Days TV show, we also have Splish Splash, followed by Yakety Yak and Put Your Head on My Shoulder.
Not Blueberry Hill?
No. There's a lot of songs from there.
You want to listen to a lot of 50s rock is what I'm gathering.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the next show that I pulled a couple songs from is The Wonder Years. Once again, it's going to be the theme song as well. When a Man Loves a Woman, and then Oh Baby Baby. Let's see. And then we got Skins. I don't know if you guys ever watched that TV show.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say. It was on my list.
So from Skins, the UK version, that's the first time I heard Portishead, which is Undenied. Hummingbird.
Portishead.
Oh, yeah, I love Portishead. And that was my first time.
I love these some Beth Gibbons.
Oh, these are great.
Good. Sorry.
Yeah,
you're going on a wild ride, though. Like, I gotta. Can I interject for a second? Because again, it is a podcast, so I want to make sure we touch down on things a little bit. But like, you're going on a wild ride here because you kick it off in the 50s. And you hop, skip, and jump right forward.
Yep.
So, what's your reasoning for that? Like, in your mind, this mixtape, you go from like that from the 50s, but like you do get slower, you know, towards the end, and then you pick it up again. So, like, what was your feeling when you were doing that?
So, like, I feel like all my playlists are kind of a mixed bag. So, like, all these bring back different memories, like Happy Days. My mother introducing me to that on Saturday mornings. We'd watch that for the first like 2 hours from 8 to 10. Nice. The Wonder Years, one of my close friends in middle school turned me on to this. He's like, "You've never watched The Wonder Years? We need to watch this." And he had like the whole collection. So we spent a couple weekends just watching all those. Skins out, you know.
It's so crazy to me that like you had to watch The Wonder Years on a DVD box set. Like that was like, and Trevor, I'm pretty sure you're right there with me. That was like you had to be home to watch that. I mean, you might have been a little bit older. And I don't know how Wonder Years fell on that level. And like, I think it started in like 88 or something like that for you. Like if that was like one you gravitated towards, like for me, it was, it was like, he was around my age, I guess, when it started or a little bit older. So you kind of look up, but like you're straight up, like, I'm glad it transcended to another generation, my friend.
Yes, sir. Oh man, those episodes and Winnie, man, growing up. Yeah.
Now she'll do
first celebrity crush.
She'll Matthew right out of the door. She's a mathematician. So what else you got for me? Is that it?
Okay. No. So from Skins, we also have Time to Pretend. That's MGMT, and then I also pulled from Skins the US version, which sucked. But the song I picked from there was Love Lockdown.
Okay.
And then we're gonna move up. And we're going to get judgy because I love Vampire Diaries. And we got Wait by M83, Kiss Me, and then Gravity. Those are my songs.
Okay. I like it. I like that a lot. I got nothing against it. So, Trevor, what do you think about that list?
I loved it. I love the fact that it was a smaller list, but it went deep into a show. So, like, if you're going to appreciate a show in its entirety, where does the music fall? is the music also part of the greatness of that show for whatever individual person? So yeah.
Oh, I and something like that, I do agree it is.
Yeah, I mean, I know for me, I don't know how many people do this, but I mean, movies and also TV, you hear music in it and you wait for the credits because you might not even want to see the movie again, but you need to know what those songs are. I do that all the time, so I figure that's probably something you do also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So how about you, Trevor?
Okay, well, I was going to do the television theme songs as it connected to me personally, do the, I'm growing up in this, and I discovered I'm just not a TV person, and I wasn't raised that way. So I decided to look at TV themes, songs, and sounds that have transcended their time period to literally becoming part of our culture. They don't have to be connected with that television show anymore to mean things that television show meant. So it's not that long a list, but
I love it.
Okay, so my first is, number one, at one time I was, but any self-respecting goth has to say the Addams Family. The theme to the Addams Family. Da, da, da. Exactly. Da, da, da. Everybody in the room goes. And, it's even used a lot in early childhood education to teach, numbers and all this kind of stuff, because it is such a perfect little song performed by a guy named Vic Mizzy. And, it just fits to everything. And also, I think even more because of the song than because of the show, we've seen the rebirth of the Addams Family concept again and again and again. So my second song is a theme. And yet again, it's an item that honestly, person doesn't even have to have seen this at all. But as soon as they hear it, da 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 da, guys,
Batman, baby.
Exactly. So my second is the theme to Batman because that still means Caped Crusader, no matter what. My next was by Frankie Lane, and he did the original Rawhide theme. Yet again, a song that is associated with the television show, but is taken on so much new meat. But still, it makes you think of something pertaining to the Old West, even if it's being used sarcastically as, like a DS situation like Godzilla and Kong. So the next one is the X-Files theme. It is so simple. Mark Snow did a soundscape that to this day, you watch younger character and content creators, and they still use that theme. That's the sign it's going to last forever.
That's honestly, that one, I will tell you, did not make my list, but for reason, because like I said, I went for a full story after a while, but like that was an instrumental one for me.
Yes, it is the contemporary version of, well, okay, I'm going to move two around. It's a contemporary version to another theme that means so much today, whether you saw the show or not, but a majority of people associate it with the weird and the bizarre, and that is the theme to the Twilight Zone. It is universal. It represents something. It's been put into our vernacular. And then the biggie, in my opinion, Star Trek. Which was partially composed by Gene Roddenberry. It, just in itself, no matter who you play it for, they have feelings of this is outer space. This is space travel. It no longer associates just with Star Trek. Some of these are going to get shorter and shorter, so I apologize. The bass line to Seinfeld.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, literally, you'll hear people say the bass line or sing the bass line when they want to be sarcastic about what somebody's done. It's become that much part of our culture.
Yep.
The daily double music from Jeopardy, which was composed by the legendary Merv Griffin, has a life of its own. People who have never seen Jeopardy, you're in the middle of doing something and they're waiting and it goes, da, 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 da. Yeah, it's just amazing.
I love that.
Okay, so my next one is The Price is Right.
That one for me, like I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but you said Jeopardy. like it was that one for me. That was like the sick days.
Mhm.
You see, like you could. That's the thing. Like you're saying one, and I'm like, it doesn't have an effect. Then you say another, and I'm like immediately brought back.
Mhm.
Not that I didn't love Jeopardy. Of course, it's iconic. I 100% agree. But something just brought me back to like the days when you were home from school.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Chilling.
it's been going on continually for so many decades, but it also, you know, dun 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 dun. It's access. It's, you know, it's winning. It's, you know, it has a life outside of the actual show. And the next one is the theme to Dragnet, which is only a minute long, but literally the first 3 notes you can put in front of anything, and people associate it with the law.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, okay. Can I ask you this though?
Yeah, go
in
for it.
your opinion, and I don't know if it's on your list. I agree with you. When I was a kid, like that was the law. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's more associated with the law now, or Law and Orders? Dun dun.
I'm going to go in between, and I'm going to say Bad Boy.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to be like, Bad Boys theme song. I always
In
think
the
of cops.
contemporary world, a song that to this day you hear used in just general conversation, whether it be about police, whether it be about you're doing something wrong, bad boys, bad boys. I mean, I would love to own the writing licensing song because you would just be rich.
That's probably why they keep making those damn movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. God bless.
Let's see what we got here. I want to say quick before.
Oh, actually, I have a few more real quick. Is that
Oh
okay?
yeah, okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Okay.
Lalo Schifrin's Mission Impossible theme. I mean, besides the movies, I mean, who hasn't been doing something with somebody to go dun 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 dun? Come on faster! Come on faster! It's part of our cultural lexicon. This one's an interesting one for me because so the Doctor Who theme from 1968. It was written by a guy named Ron Grainer, but it was created by a woman named Delia Debrashire and her 10 pieces. She was a tape loop experimental composer and arranger. And the theme song to Doctor Who is actually a very, very early example of what would eventually become industrial music. She's a very interesting person, and it is,
I love that.
yet again, and this one goes, you know, other places, Britain, you hear the Doctor Who theme, and it's just, this is going to be a trippy, bizarre, otherworldly thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then I start, like, taking it down more and more. And just have 3 more. Actually, I have 2 more. Okay. So it's the NBC chimes, the 3 chimes.
Yeah.
You no matter what, those 3 chimes, people hear it and they still associate it with TV.
Do you know why? Oh, I'm sorry. I do not want to take that away from you. Please. You go.
No. You please go first.
No, because I'm probably wrong. So I would love to hear your right answer.
Well, I was just gonna. So nowadays, you say Q-tone, and people associate what's connected with all forms of media, streaming, things like that. But this was actually originally 7 notes, and it started back in the 1920s for radio, and it was in front of the programming for the affiliates, so they knew when to jump over programming. And as this got shorter and shorter, it eventually just became a marketing ploy to actually associate a sound with a network. And I think it's like the first sound. I forget what year, but they actually NBC placed the first patent on a sound.
And from what I understand, that was the first ever tone they did for those. That was the one that really they came up with. So it was I was watched that on TikTok recently. That's why when you said that, I'm like, I know something about this.
So beyond actually being an influential song, it's a very influential couple notes in the history of communication, radio, television. It's still to an extent used today. And my final one takes it up to it's one I think Mick will remember. And it's the shortest, and it consists of one sound and one note. And that was the opening for HBO, home box office. And that little sound, I hear it used in various things, whether it be sampling in songs or it being used for video memes to associate things. So yeah, there's my list, and I hope it didn't babble too much.
No, you didn't. I love it. I love that list, and I love that you brought the history with it, and like to the sounds especially. I love that. That's a great tape.
Thank you very much.
You guys, that's
I made it like an hour ago, so thank you.
Fair.
I spent days trying to think of TV songs that meant something to me, and I'm like,
very fair.
I'm a movie guy.
Oh, don't worry. Our next list is right up your alley. I'll tell you off there.
I just can't believe I forgot about the Addams Family. That's what kind of messed me up.
I did
Once
not.
he said that, I was like, damn it. I wrote down Twilight Zone and It's Always Sunny, but
yeah, I mean, they are. I mean, they're going to be iconic one day. I was going through my life, what like kind of hit me. And I left a lot of stuff out that did. But before we get there, let's see what everybody's saying. Dean singing "Eye of the Tiger" in Supernatural. That was a good one. "Carry On My Wayward Son" from Kansas from Supernatural. That's another one. Good. Thanks, James. I had to be home to watch Wonder Years. Yeah, that was a pretty big show. Multiple tracks from Gravity Falls score, including the intro. Yeah, it's a great intro. We'll go on my mixtape. Brad Breek is an underrated composer. Very nice. I like that. Thank you.
Gravity Falls is an underrated show, in my opinion.
Oh, 100. Bring that back too.
Yeah, I've never watched one of the great contemporary kid shows.
I will tell you check it out, Paul. It's a good show. Smallville had a lot of great songs during each season. Yeah, they did, especially for my age at that time. The Running Up That Hill from Stranger Things. I'll get to that. I'm going to leave that alone. Superhero intros such as Jessica Jones, Daredevil, X-Men, Loki. Yeah, those are some fun ones. Samantha says, "I don't want to be here" from One Tree. I remember that song.
Yeah.
That was a big song. Just Cheat and get AC/DC, who made soundtrack from Maximum Overdrive. Fair. When we get to movies, we'll get there.
Yeah.
The Doctor Who score is full of great tracks. Doomsday still hurts to listen to. I like that. I appreciate you for that. Dawson's Creek, I don't want to wait. All right. I'm all right, guys. So I guess I can't stall anymore. My list is more autobiography.
Nice.
Biographical, autobiography. I'm an idiot. So I wanted to kick things off the right way with what I think is probably one of the most monumental tunes to ever come out of TV. And it definitely helped shape young Mick's life in many ways. Many ways. And I'm so glad that I am at a point of not being shaped by it anymore. And that is Where Everyone Knows Your Name. Theme song of Cheers. I'm going to open it up with that because you catch them all with that song. And then what do you go to? You gotta hit them in the face a little bit. You gotta really take it home. And I'm going with Hootie Hoo by Outkast from the series Atlanta. They used a lot of Outkast really well, but they used a lot of different music. And the way they used this, they used a couple other songs just really perfectly well. And then it's just like that was like, to me, that's going to hit you. But how do you keep hitting them right in the face? Easily. You do it with the Night Court theme song. You get that sax and that cool blues sound. That's the way it works. And then you take it to Running Up That Hill, Kate Bush. Now, why do I add this song? Because yes, it's from Stranger Things. But when that song became popular, I was so proud of myself because I am not great at music. I'm not a connoisseur of music like my friend Trevor here, like Paul even, like my wife, everybody knows music. I know movies, right? So I knew that song. We were watching that episode and that song started playing. And I was so proud of myself because I was like, Kate Bush, I know this song. Oh my God, nobody knows this song. And then it became super popular. And I'm like, I'm the dud who knew that song. So
and Kate Bush finally got a much needed, overlooked payday for years. Yeah.
Deserved it, especially. It's a great song.
Very deserved. Long career.
Yeah, very true. Now I'm going to take it to a place where you're all going to get annoyed with me, but I don't care. And that is I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys from the TV show Brooklyn Nine. I'm gonna settle in, because then we're gonna hit them back within Living Color theme.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what a great theme song that was. But you gotta two punch them. After you hit them with the Living Color theme and they feel nostalgic, you hit them with the A-Team theme. You knock them straight out to the point where they need to be saved. And then you save me with Remy Zero from Smallville. All right. And then once you're safe, 227 theme song, you're nice, safe at home. That show was one of my favorites growing up. And that theme song would like still just like that, and Night Court theme song like just play in my head constantly. I love those shows. And then you jump into moving on up from the Jeffersons theme song. But once you get up there, you realize it's a ghost town by the Specials, which comes from Scrubs. Then the Munsters theme, because when you're in a ghost town, you also have monsters. And as much as everyone loves Addams Family, the Munsters was my show.
Cool. So
I had to go with it. And then, but you'll be safe because Dracula's from Houston by the Butthole Surfers. I love that song. And then when you find out the Dracula's from Houston, you got to find out where in the world is Carmen Sandiego by Rockapella.
Awesome.
And if she's not somewhere in the world, she's probably out in space. And if that's the case, Bowie's in space. Flight of the Conchords. I love that episode, that Bowie episode, and Bowie's in Space was one of my favorites. And while you're out in space with the Bowies, you can hit that. They Can't Take the Sky from You, the Firefly soundtrack. I love that theme song. And then I gotta add my girl. Tay Tay's in here. From the show You, the Exile, because they can't take the skies from you, but they can exile. But that's okay, because it'll only cost you one single teardrop from Massive Attack, the house theme song. There's no way I wasn't going to add Massive Attack in there if I can.
Oh, great.
And after that teardrop, I remember that She's My Rainbow, and I love her. She's a Rainbow by the Rolling Stones, used in Ted Lasso, and perfectly, by the way. I think the use of that song in that show was done wonderfully. I do have a couple of runners up. I don't know if you guys do. Mm-hmm. You want to go over our runners ups real quick? We could just kind of throw them out, see what everybody. But I have Blue Eyes by the Carey Brothers. It's a beautiful song, and I actually liked it better used on the show than in his movie. Wild World by Cat Stevens. That was used in Skins. That's why when you said Skins earlier, I was like, are you talking Wild World? Because that was a really well done scene. Guy Love, Donald Faison, and Zach Braff from Scrubs. Stranger Things, Master of Puppets. There's icon. So those are my runners. What do you guys have?
I just had, for me, it was just the main theme song for Twilight Zone.
That's a good one, yeah.
And then also, like I said, with It's Always Sunny, the same thing.
Nice.
That theme song. And then also, just from It's Always Sunny, you can tell a fan, because if you say, the Dayman song, or you got to pay the tribal
Dayman song.
You know what I mean?
Dayman.
Me, those someone will start singing. Like if I'm with my group of friends, if someone starts it, we always finish it. There's never.
That makes sense. That's fair. How about you, Trevor? You have any runners up?
When I was trying to do the autobiographical end of it, there were a few, but there weren't many. Number one would be Jan Hammer's Miami Vice theme, which is so good. Which that I have to say that because it lives in that same area as the theme is Glenn Frey's "You Belong to the City."
Love that song.
Which at the time Miami Vice was that they just associated that song with Miami Vice. As far as other, let me think here. This is gonna be a strange one, but the opening music to the Julia Child cooking show always had a lot of meaning because my mother was obsessed with cooking, and we always watched that. There was one other one. Oh, yeah. My all-time favorite show. And that's the theme to Hill Street Blues.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah. That was one of only a handful of shows that with my mother, we watched it the night it came out.
Yeah, that is fantastic. The only other one I would add to it is the Psych theme song. That was such a good one, and I love the fact that they took it to different layers. And like if it was like when they did the doo-wop episode, Boyz II Men came and sang the theme song, or if it was like it was taking place in a different country, it would be that that language would sing the theme song. Like they always had good little Easter eggs for that, and I always appreciate that now. if you can get your intro clever, because God knows they do not have the class they used to have back in the day with their orchestras.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It really is. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. The Bob Ross intro. Well, these have been some good lists, guys. I really appreciate this. I'm going to be listening to them tomorrow as I put everything together. So I would appreciate you guys sending me your list,
Yes,
for sure. And I appreciate when you guys come on, you hang out. Trevor, of course, I've been
Thank you.
having so much fun hanging out with you over on Godzilla, and then you get to do this with me as well. Guys, go check out Ambassador Radio and Media. If you're not learning anything, I'll tell you that right now. This man teaches me a lot about movies and TV, and
Thank you. That's
I
very
would
flattering.
say I'm somewhat of a movie expert.
Mhm.
I went to school for it. I worked in it, and this man teaches me so much. But I always love to learn. So
I don't think I enjoy anything more than introducing somebody to something new, or something that is connected to something they really already like. And I think with age you get more and more interested in that. You don't want to so to be given an ability to share is very education is important, even when it comes to pop culture education. Actually, pop culture education in certain ways is even more important.
Yeah, I completely agree. Pop culture can very much help shape our culture. So
Yeah.
I love that how you put that. And yeah, we're gonna let you go now because we're gonna close out the show and finish up our reviews. But I wanted to say thank you again so much for popping
Well,
in.
thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Mick, as always. Thank you, Paul. It was great being on with you again.
It's good seeing you
Yes,
again.
and
I'm
we will have you
excited
back
to listen to your list.
I'll
Awesome.
wait until you guys will both enjoy the next one. Like I said, I'll tell you off air, but the next one's going to be right up the alley. You guys are going to love it.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. Take care, bud. Well, guys, I don't know if you know this, but we're two wild and crazy guys. No, so
True.
if you guys don't know this, we are sponsored by Pure Hemp Botanicals. If you don't know who they are, they have some great products for you. And right now, they're giving 25% off Delta 9 THC down in the, if you go down and use our affiliate link, they're sponsors of tonight's episode. And it's just, you click on the link, you'll be fine. If they ask for a code, it's snobs. And then that way it should work. So, all right, guys, you ready?
Always ready.
Oh, and I do want to point out, I know I didn't give a whole read to Pure Hemp Botanicals. I have used their stuff. I have used this. I like it. It's very nice. So I don't pitch shit I don't like or try.
So, can I ask you a question? I know it's going to kind of get you. Do they ship to states where things might not be quite as legal as they are in other states? I know it's Delta 9, but
might, because that's a great question. No, do not apologize. Never apologize. There's no stupid questions. That's a great question. Now, clearly, I want to answer that for everybody so they can take their time. I believe they do.
Okay.
I do believe they do.
Gotcha.
Because I have told other people about them. If they do not, please let me know. I would love to hear it, but I have ordered it, sent to me, and it was great. So go ahead, read up on them. They are very good. They've been around since 2015. All types of stuff, really. Here, let me pull it up so everybody can see. Now we started the next topic. I love it. Yeah, so if you check this out. Let me get rid of my honey. Actually, everybody should get the honey hat on for sure. I love the honey hat. See? It gives you all your discounts and stuff, but you're getting one with me with the 25%. Just use the snobs.
I want to try the sleep one.
So yeah, they have the shop, so you can get Pure Balance, Pure Sleep. They have all the pet therapy. They have the deals.
That's cool.
Learn. That's what I love to say is learn. CBD Knowledge Portal. Frequently asked questions. What's going on here? Can you ship to people of all kinds? Can you ship to Honduras?
We got our own out there.
I was just saying. Listen. Oh my God! Right?
We infuse our bananas with them.
I'm not sure, and I'm in the middle of a podcast, so I can't answer that for you. But I will find out by next episode. But yes, I have tried their stuff. They're got me some other stuff, so it's pretty damn good in my opinion. But
awesome.
Koi is good. I use them. Okay. I don't know what Koi is. Is that a rival? Are you putting a rival up to my sponsor? Chris, I'm going to stop pulling your stuff up.
Well, we're talking about it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, so all right, guys, we are getting ready. That's our sponsor. Also, if you would go check out our Patreon, we do have a free tier. We also have free trials, stuff like that. Go check it out. We got a lot of fun stuff available. For the higher ups, higher tiers, I am offering consulting time. There's a certain amount of time for each tier, but you get a certain amount of time each month. Talk to me, sit down. Like if you want to talk about any of the, could just be an AMA if you wanted it, but you could talk to me about any amount of knowledge I have in the podcasting world, filmmaking, all that stuff. I'm happy to sit down, help you find resources if you need it. But that time is yours. That's what's part about the Patreon. Other perks as well, plus you're part of the Snobs Nation. We love having you, but also join up on the Discord. You can join up there and it's have a good time with us. Anyway, yeah, I'm not pulling that up, Chris. Thank you guys for listening to TED Talk. I have 2 announcements to make before we get started because I don't want to do them at the end. Hopefully you guys stay with me on this. And it's linked down below. You can get your tickets at the Alamo Draft House in Winchester, Virginia. I will be hosting a Q&A of the premiere of Written by Mike. That's right. Brand new film. Oh, got cut off there. I'm sorry about that. Written by Mike. I cannot wait to go check it out. I'm going to see it. And, I'm going to take a look at it. We're also going to be reviewing it and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But I was asked, the director is a friend of mine. He asked me to come down and, do the Q&A. I'm super excited. It's actually one of my first public appearances in months because of my knee and everything. So I'm like down. I'm like excited to do this.
That's awesome.
And get back into it. So Written by Mike, go check it out. Get your tickets down below. Come hang out in Winchester and see me. I will be asking questions. Good ones. I know I will be. So, and our second announcement is you guys are always asking about the charity events and what's going on. We have another charity script read coming next month, and I'm super excited for it. It's coming May 17th. We're reading Scream, baby.
Nice.
It's sponsored by Carolina Fear Fest. All proceeds go to Haunters Against Hate, and it will be right here on the Scene Snobs channel. We're gonna have a bunch of people in it having fun. If you guys have been a part of, and we're doing something new with the script this year. This time it's exciting. I'm super excited. We're gonna do. I don't want to give it away.
I have a question. I have so many questions. I'm excited.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna add some fun stuff to it. So come out, donate, hang out with us. You can. It's interactive. Join in. We'll all be playing the characters and having a good old time. Make sure you can be a part of it. It is. It's gonna be a great time. Casters for a Cause charity script read of Scream. I cannot wait. But if you have questions about it, people, make sure you come out. But I'm glad we got to announce that. All right, let's get started with these reviews. That's right. Scoop, Civil War. Start with Scoop. Yeah. Scoop is the story of Newsnight, a BBC news channel that I guess is very good. I don't know much about them. I did not realize to the magnitude of which we are calling everyone a hero now. That's just my feeling on it. But I did not know that the Prince Andrew interview was this insane and pressing and everything else. In fact, I'm not even quite sure what questions she asked. I'm pretty sure he just talked. I'm pretty sure she was like, "Are you friends with?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I would."
Yep.
This movie
dry snitching on everybody.
Well, basically, yeah. So this is the interview Prince Andrew did after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested the first time in 2020, and how he kind of fumbled everything. I want to hear what you think first, Paul, because I got a rant on this one a little bit.
As far as just the movie goes, I wasn't a huge fan of it. The acting I thought was actually really good. Surprisingly, which is my rating reflects more of the acting than anything else because it was kind of boring. I didn't really give a shit about the plot. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't going to watch it until you said we were reviewing it. So then I did watch it. But I mean, for what it was okay. But just like you said, I don't see why anyone could just be a hero for whatever, because especially how they portrayed it in this, it didn't seem like they instigated it. It just seemed like dude just couldn't keep his mouth shut and just was like you said, spilling too much.
And here's the thing. So sorry, I got to jump on the rant. Sorry, I got to jump on your review. I agree with you on every step of the way on this. Here's my rant. Can we stop treating journalists? And now I'm talking about in movies. Mm-hmm. I honestly, at this point, stop in real life too, treating them like heroes. But can we stop making these movies that are glorifying journalism and the got you journalism that really isn't doing anything? It really isn't. I'm sorry, the bombshells, the she said's, all of that. It's not, you're not Spotlight. You're not, because none of you have all missed the point of what Spotlight and All the President's Men have done and why they've succeeded. And the Post is another one that was really bad. All of that stuff, like, not really bad. They're not terrible movies, but like, I'm a little ashamed that a bunch of them are starting to get nominated every time they come out, because gotcha journalism is. Movie wise, it's so ridiculous. Spotlight got it right. All the President's Men got it right. Why did they get it right? Because like, if you follow All the President's Men, after that you get network, you get broadcast news, and it's very much it's either nihilistic, but also has the journalist as the hero point. They're trying to live on with that whole idea of Walter Cronkite was the hero. Like, I get it, whatever. I don't know Walter Cronkite. I don't care. He wasn't a hero in my day, and I'm not quite sure he was. Did he stand up for integrity? Maybe. And I'm not taking anything away from him. I don't know, though, because I haven't seen any like journalist, in his level, to everyday Americans that had integrity. So it's hard for me to believe that one guy did. So like, maybe he did, but it's hard to me, because we've never gotten it since. So like, I think my biggest issue with all of it is Spotlight, and let me put the spotlight on Spotlight for this, and compare it to Scoop, and why Scoop doesn't work, because it follows the formula of everyone else. Spotlight didn't make or insinuate or infer in any way that those journalists were the heroes. They were journalists who found a story, and the whole movie is them just investigating it.
Right.
They don't call themselves heroes. It's not gotcha moments. It's not they're investigating, and they put together enough for an article, and then they put it out, and they were proud of what they did. But everybody else is like, we're going to get them. Oh my God, we found out what's going on. We're going to tell everyone. And it's like, you put the light on it. I don't remember one fucking character's name from Spotlight, and I don't think they care if I do. But I remember all those reporters and their story, and how they were investigating, and like the things that came in, and how it personally touched them in their lives. This Scoop movie, get the fuck. And like, I like Billy Piper. I like Gillian Anderson. I like Rufus Sewell. These are great actors. I take nothing away from them, but this is read the book. Read the book. I mean, I'm sure the book is much more interesting, but like, are we supposed to be like, oh, she sacrificed everything. She didn't talk to her kid, so that way she could go to work. Like, you're not my hero. You're an asshole.
Right.
You're an asshole, because if you were there or not, this guy was going to talk himself into an idiot, is what the movie is portraying it. And I'm not saying that's real life, but the movie's portraying it that way. So like, I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent on that, but it really is, because like, all of these movies keep coming out for gotcha, trying to pretend like they're Spotlight, and they're not, because you're not writing a good story. But that's just, do you have any more you want to say on this?
No, I mean, why? Yeah, no,
you kind of washed it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the next movie we're going to talk about is the kind of movie I want to see about journalism.
There you go. All right, well, let's give our ratings for this. I gave Scoop a 2, no surprise, and Paul gave it a 3 because he really liked that she wore pants.
Yep, sure did. She was magical. It's tough, man.
They had to make a whole scene about that too. Like, again, like, stop putting yourself in it. Stop putting yourself in. Like, I'm not saying it didn't happen, and you could play that out, but like, that was the gotcha moments. Oh, this is who he is. It's blah blah blah. And it's like, do a Spotlight then.
Right.
Just tell the story. And next up is Civil War. I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
Thank you, Paul. I want to thank you first before I tell you what this is about. I was not going to go see this movie.
Okay.
I'm not exactly feeling very in the mood for politics lately, just because it's always so visceral and disgusting. So I saw Civil War, and I was like, and I saw like the trailer, and I was like, it just seems very political. I wish they didn't do that, because I bet you more and more people who feel like me would definitely rush out to see this for what the movie actually is. I really enjoyed this movie, and before we get into how we feel and stuff like that, let's tell everybody what it's about. So, but I wanted to thank you, Paul, before that, because you pushed me. You're like, I'm going to see this. I was like, I don't really feel like seeing it. I was like, but I don't have anything like ready to review, and I went and saw it, and I liked it. And that's testament to you, so I appreciate you. You got to push each other to do those things,
right?
But at least, like, you're often saying thanks for the recommendation, this, that, and the other thing. there you go, man. This is yours. Like you recommended it to me, man. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
I really like this movie, and I'm going to get mine out of the way first because I have a feeling you have a lot to say, and I want you to roll. So I really like this movie. Kirsten Dunst gave a great performance. I liked all the actors. I like the story behind it. I like that, like, California and Texas are teaming up. You know, Florida's fighting back. Like, I got the premise of like what and how this all started and what's going on. I dug it. Like, I didn't need much more. I just wanted to see these photojournalists traveling through America and how dangerous that can be during a civil war, and sometimes how surprising that can be during a civil war. It was shot really well. The visuals are fantastic and chilling, very chilling, all throughout. Like, and I think this is an eye opener for a lot of things, and especially what's going on over in the Middle East, and you know, what's happening in the fire in the sky, man. Like we're seeing on the news. It's there. We see it in real world. It exists. So this looks so realistic, and then it's at home, and to see how New York City is handling things, see how small towns are handling things, see how Virginia, my home state, is handling things, Washington DC. Like, it's interesting. It was a very interesting introspective look at like division in this country and what it could look like. I thought the story wasn't great. It's the weakest part of everything. But it is a good story. I thought it was a good story because it's a simple story. It's a travel story. It's the characterization of this was the biggest point. I got that, so I don't mind. It's like Star Wars. Star Wars doesn't have the greatest, like, most epic story of all time. It's a very simple story mixed with a mixed bag of wonderful themes and other things. So I felt about this movie sort of the same way in the story. Like, not a bad story, just a simple story. I dug it. I liked it. And the characters made it for me. The visuals made it for me. Jesse Plemons is so chilling in this movie, more chilling than I think anything at this point, and so scarily realistic. So all of that mixed together, fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it. I didn't have a lot of fun with it, but I had a good time watching it because it made me think. That's all I'm going to say. I know you got a lot. Please go right ahead. I'm going to shut up.
All right. Let's get to no. So I went into this, guys, thinking this was just going to be a Civil War version of The Purge. I thought it was going to be a lot of deaths. I thought it was on. Oh, are we good?
No, you just cut out a little bit. You'll be all right.
Oh,
go for it.
But yeah, I thought Civil War was just going to be North versus South version of The Purge. Is what I expected, because that's how the trailer really perceives it. And I even rewatched the trailer today with my mom, and she was like, the movie you described is not what I just saw as far as the trailer. And I was like, no, absolutely. They kind of failed portraying what it's actually about. So when I realized it's about journalism and, you know, what they kind of got to go through and about disassociating yourself, I was thoroughly like intrigued once I realized, oh, this isn't really going to be all focused on the deaths or, you know, who's fighting who exactly. I really enjoyed that we didn't really get to find out who stood for what. Like, we knew it was Civil War, and we heard different states grouped together were against each other, but they didn't really say 100% who stood for what. So you kind of
they do. I don't mean to cut you out. They do sort of insinuate, inferring that California and Texas teaming up, the most left state and the most right state, really says that whatever they were going after, fighting against Washington D.C., and him serving a third term, is bad. You know, I'm glad you're right. I'm glad they didn't like over politicize or give you full measure, but that's what I liked about it. I was like, it can be vague, but you are telling such a beautiful story with like all of the other alliances.
And then visually, I loved how some of the scenes, they do the slow still pictures in the black and white. I thought they did that superbly. Like, I was cinematically very impressed by it, and just like taken aback kind of on how good it was and how gripping. They got those silent moments in those still pictures and things like that. Character development, I thought it was great. Like really showing someone in shock. You know, you see that the poor girl like just vomits on herself, but it's not projectile because she's not there. It's just her body reacting to everything going on. So it was just, you know, situations like that. If you've ever been in high trauma situations like that's how it is. Like, you're there, your body's still reacting, but your mind you're not okay. You're scrambled. And I want to see it again. And I really hope people give it a chance. Even though the trailer makes it seem like it's going to be this violent fest of maybe, you know, rednecks against, you know, liberals, whatever, but that's not what this was. And I think it deserves a lot more than what the trailer portrayed, and I hope you guys end up going to see it.
And I think that's to add to that a little bit, like, because you're right, it is misleading in that sense. And I do hope people get to see it, like you said, even if you like. To me, this is when you can wait till you get home. Like if you're asking my recommendation of like, should I run out to theaters? Nah, just wait till streaming. It's worth watching though. I think you should check it out. I even had a rental. Maybe like chilling. It's not for kids or anything for sure, because there are violent moments. Like you do. There are violent moments, and but nothing overly crazy. Just kind of just like disturbing and haunting at times. Right. But it do play it off like it is this blue versus red thing, and I think that diminishes exactly what this is, which is like a tyrant took over and Americans are fighting for freedom.
Right.
This isn't a civil war. Like it really isn't, because if you think about it, almost everybody they run into is either like, we don't want to be involved, which is not unheard of for a civil war. And then there's like even photojournalists, like they live in the U.S. part, the part that still remains like I think they called it I forget what it was, but it was like the U.S. whatever, like it was like the classic almost, like we were the loyalist or whatever. So like they live there, they are Americans every day, going out and watching the war and taking pictures. So for me, this movie spoke to me on a way that was like, it's not really a civil war. I guess it could be because it's Americans picking up and going after. It's really just the United States Guard,
right,
that's fighting back and on behalf of the president, the Secret Service and stuff like that. So it's the president's men that are literally fighting. It's not everyday Americans on that side, really.
Right.
And I wish they portrayed it as like more of a tyrant. Like I would have called this movie more tyrant than Civil War, personally.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And I just we've a tyrant has taken over, these photojournalists who live in it. They just did such a great job with it. Everything was very, very cold, it seemed calculated in certain scenes.
Yeah,
a really well job. But we both gave this a 4.
Yeah,
we both really like this one. Really well done. I actually wouldn't mind more if they're done the same way and then done with the same care. I don't want it to get too in depth. I want it to be like this, but more stories of this Civil War.
Right. Yeah.
But if it's done terribly, like if they Walking Dead it would just be, it's over. Or The Purge or something.
Right.
It's like, come on, you had a really good message and then you screwed it up, but whatever. But anyway, those are our reviews of Scoop and Civil War. And now is Mick's movie pick. And then you might recognize the poster from last week's classic film review. It is 1989's Do the Right Thing. I'm going to also be shining a light on a lot of the movies that are celebrating anniversaries this year. And this one is celebrating the 25th anniversary of its release. Absolutely phenomenal movie. One of the groundbreaking 5 out of 5 movie for me. I think this is truly fantastic. I have to watch it once a year. Acting is great. Directing is perfect. Characters are wonderful. A real in-depth street of race relations back in the early 90s that still echo to today. It's so well done. Spike Lee cemented himself into the industry with this one. I love this movie. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, watch it. Again, it's celebrating its 25th anniversary. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say about it. It's just it's a truly fantastic movie. But go check out Do the Right Thing if you can. That's my mixed movie pick for the week. I want to say thank you guys. I want to thank you, Paul, for being here. I want to thank Trevor for joining in, of course. We'll be back next week. We're gonna have some fun stuff going on. Wise will be joining us next week, so that's gonna be cool. Of course, Stuck in My Mind podcast. We love Wise. Guys, thank you again so much for hanging out. We talked to you about Patreon. We talked about Discord. Talked to you about our sponsor. Talked to you about it all. So I'm just gonna leave it be. Make sure you're there for the charity event on May 17th. That's right, May 17th. We're doing a charity script read, Casters for a Cause of Scream, baby. And that is benefit Haunters Against Hate. Carolina Fear Fest is sponsoring it. We'll be here, brought to you by us. Thank you guys again so much for being a part of this. Join us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hang out with us. You can talk to us or listen to us on any podcast platform afterwards. We'd appreciate the rate reviews. We appreciate the subscribes, the likes. All of it goes a long way. Comment, be a part of it. Join the Snob Nation. And I can't wait to see you guys at Carolina Fear Fest this year, Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, we'll both be there and we'll have bells on for it.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Paul, before we go, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's warming up, so make sure to stay hydrated, you guys, because heat exhaustion's a real thing.
That's great advice. And I cannot say it better myself, but I will say this. Be kind to each other. Stay classy. Take care of yourselves because that's important. Take care.